Hello there. Welcome to today's fun game called Name That Skyline. You're going to see a series of images appear on your screen. The object of this game is to try to guess that city just by looking at the skyline. I, of course, will be giving you some fun clues and facts along the way. So let's get started. Let's go with number 1. Just by looking at those pictures of the skyline, can you guess what city it is? All right. It's the largest city in the region known as Appalachia. The polio vaccine was created by Dr. Jonas Salk in this city in 1950. This city is known as the City of Bridges. It has 446 in total, which is more than Venice, Italy, or any other city in the world. What city is it? The answer is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Number 2. There is a tower downtown that is nicknamed the Batman Building because of its resemblance to bat ears. President Theodore Roosevelt coined the phrase "good to the last drop" after drinking a cup of local coffee at the Maxwell House Hotel. All right. It was the first city nationwide to be granted an FM broadcasting license. The original WSM and radio announcer David Cobb called this city Music City for the first time in the 1950s. Which city is this? The answer is Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee. Did you know Sentinel Park is home to the only real replica of the Greek Parthenon? Sometimes referred to as the Athens of the South, the city of Nashville built it for the World Exposition in 1897. It is the Western Hemisphere's tallest enclosed sculpture and houses a full-scale replica of the statue. Number 3. This city is where Scotch tape, the Bundt pan, Bisquick, and pop-up toasters were invented. This city is home to the St. Anthony Falls and Minnehaha Falls. One of the city's nicknames is the Mill City. The first commercial flour mill opened in 1854, and by 1863, 15 mills produced 1.25 million barrels of flour a year. By 1916, the city produced over 18 million barrels of flour every year. Can you guess what city this is? It's Minneapolis. Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right. Did you know the Washburn-Crosby Company operated a flour mill, and in 1878, that mill exploded? Flour is very combustible, more so than gunpowder. This same mill, which caught on fire again in the 90s, was turned into a museum in 2003. Moving on, number 4. Looking at the skyline, can you guess what city this is? All right, this city is the most visited city in Texas, and it's actually the 17th most visited city in the nation. The city is home to the Alamo. It's the most visited attraction in all of Texas. More than 2.5 million people visit the Alamo every year, making it the most visited attraction in Texas. Church's Chicken, a famous fried chicken fast food place, started in 1952 as Church's Fried Chicken to Go in this city. It was opened right across the street from the Alamo. It's now the fourth largest chicken restaurant in the country behind KFC, Chick-fil-A, and Popeye's Chicken. Can you guess what city it is? The answer is San Antonio. San Antonio, Texas. Did you know San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the U.S. behind cities like New York and Los Angeles? San Antonio comes in 7th as the most populated city in the nation. It's the 2nd most populated city in Texas behind Houston with about 1.4 million people. Moving on to number 5. Number 5. This city is located in the Beehive State. This city is home to the first Kentucky Fried Chicken. Harland Colonel Sanders' original restaurant in North Corbin, Kentucky was called Sanders Court and Cafe. In 1952, Sanders franchised his chicken recipe to his Utah-based friend Pete. It's the only U.S. capital with 3 words in its name. Can you guess what city this is? The answer is Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City. Did you know, due to its short distance to the Great Salt Lake, the city was originally named Great Salt Lake City? The word great was dropped from the official name in 1868. Number 6. Can you guess this city just by looking at the skyline? What city do you think this is? More than 41 million people visit this city each year. There are over 22,000 conventions that are held in this city each year. This city is home to more than half of the 20 largest hotels in the world. What city is it? The answer is Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas. Did you know that with its millions of lights, Las Vegas is considered the brightest spot on Earth? Moving on to number 7. This city built America's first subway in 1897. The Tremont Street subway is also the 3rd in the world to use electric traction. The very first chocolate factory in the U.S. was in this city. The year was 1765 when Walter Baker opened his chocolate factory in Dorchester. All right. The nickname Beantown literally comes from beans. The name came as a result of a love among the city's earliest settlers for baked beans in molasses. Can you guess what city this is? The answer is Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. Did you know you can drive 90 feet underground in Boston? The Ted Williams Tunnel is the deepest in America. It goes approximately 90 feet under the earth. All right, our next one, number 8. Looking at this skyline, can you guess what city this is? Residents in this city eat out more times a week than in any other city in America. It is home to the largest medical center in the world. This city's livestock show and rodeo is one of the biggest rodeos in the world. This month-long rodeo attracts over 2.5 million attendees each year. Can you guess which city this is? The answer is Houston. Houston, Texas. All right, number 9. When this monument opened in 1884, it was the tallest structure in the world. That is, until the Eiffel Tower in Paris took the title in 1889. The Library of Congress is the largest library in the world with more than 162 million objects in its collection. This number is constantly growing with approximately 12,000 items added to the collections every day. This city is not in any state at all. Instead, it is a federal district. It was carved from the states of Virginia and Maryland in 1790. As such, it has no voting representation in the Senate. What city is it? The answer is Washington, D.C. Did you know 2 American presidents kept alligators at the White House? It's true. Both Herbert Hoover and John Quincy Adams had pet alligators in the White House. Number 10. In 1935, the first bag of airmail was lifted by hot air balloon in this city. In 1935, the first night baseball game played under the lights in this city. And in 1954, it was the first city to have licensed public television station called WCET-TV. What city is it? What city is it? The answer is Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Ohio. Did you know Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, served as a professor of engineering at the University of Cincinnati from 1971 to 1979? Doris Day, a notable actress, was born in Cincinnati in 1924. And lastly, Jerry Springer, who was a talk show host, was once mayor of Cincinnati and later anchor on WLWT TV News. Moving on to number 11. What city is this? Try to take a good look at the skyline. In 1796, this city became the first city to host opera in the United States. The Superdome in this city is the largest enclosed stadium in the world. The submarine sandwich, which is also called a sub or the grinder, is known as a po' boy in this city. The voodoo culture, which was introduced in this city by the 1800s voodoo queens. Of the queens, Marie LeVay became more prominent as she overthrew other queens to become the sole oracle. What city is this? The answer is New Orleans. New Orleans, Louisiana. Did you know the phrase Dixieland comes from the name Dix? That was the currency of Louisiana back when the states were using their own currencies. All right, moving on. Number 12. The frozen margarita machine was invented in this city. This city's art district is the largest urban arts district in the United States. The first convenience store, 7-Eleven, got its start in this city, and the corporation is headquartered there today. What city is it? What city is it? The answer is Dallas. Dallas, Texas. Did you know Lamar Hunt, founder of the American Football League and son of oil tycoon H.L. Hunt, was a noted Dallas resident when he coined the phrase Super Bowl? All right, moving on. Number 13. There is no evidence that this city's resident Betsy Ross stitched the first American flag. The story was made up in 1870, some 100 years after the fact. You can still visit her home in Old City neighborhood. All right. In the beginning, this city's mint took several years to produce its first million coins. Today, it can make that many in less than an hour. In 1943, this city's baseball team owner, Robert Carpenter, attempted to rename the team the Blue Jays. The nickname obviously failed to catch on. As for the Eagles, they're actually named for the eagle that appeared on posters during the National Recovery Act, which was part of FDR's New Deal. Originally, the city's home team was the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets. Can you guess what city this is? The answer is Philadelphia. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Did you know Philadelphia is home to the first hospital and the first medical school? Philly is renowned for its medical sector. 1 out of every 6 doctors in the U.S. is trained in this city. Well, that's all for today's Guess That Skyline. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.